Do you want to see how to grow your website traffic through Google organic search, or how to rank your content higher, or how to make an exceptional WordPress and YouTube marketing strategy that will send people to your website with Google? You can count on this video to help you with that. Take a look at what I've done for my website. Last year, my website, jerrybanfield.com, got no traffic to it because it was just forwarding to my LinkedIn profile. I was using my company website, which did awful in search. I was really frustrated, and I set out to learn what really worked to get good Google organic search traffic. This year, I started out posting new things on my website and was frustrated with the consistent lack of results. You can see most days for the first 6 months, I just got anywhere from 1 to 10 people visiting my site through Google organic search. Most of them were probably me or my mom. Then I started to learn what worked to get traffic. So I started a new WordPress YouTube content marketing strategy that has proven exceptionally well in consistently growing. You can see once I started doing this, my web traffic from Google organic search continues to grow steadily. And this is what's exceptional. If you look in my webmaster tools, you can see that out of the 7,800 clicks I've got this year, 2,000 of them were in the last month alone. And not only that, but I'm getting double-digit growth every single month in my impressions and my clicks. And the clicks are going even faster than the impressions. That's remarkable. The reason for it is this strategy that I'm doing on my website. You can see all over my website that I'm doing this exact strategy. You can see what I'm doing by all of the blog posts I've made. And this video explains my exact process in creating the posts and the videos that get exceptional results for web traffic. I'll give you a short preview. What I did today while making this, I put up 3 2,000 plus word keyword matched blog posts that have a video linked to them. They come up like this. That last post, it looks like I need to edit it. They come up like this. They have a video up at the top and then the blog post down here. But the trick is the blog post is from a transcription. So the blog post is unique, but it's just what I said in the video. So I'm telling Google what to index, and I'm giving the user a good video, and I'm matching all that with a keyword validated title. I'm going to show you how to do all that, and you probably can get even better results doing this than me. I'm in the entrepreneurship, online advertising, internet marketing niche that is very competitive. If you do this strategy in a less competitive niche with viral content, you can make this work way better than I'm doing it in my highly competitive niche where everyone's trying to get traffic. So if you're trying to make sales online for your store, or you're trying to share viral content, this strategy will be explosive for you. If you want to get more than what I've offered in this video, all you have to do is go to my website, jerrybanfield.com, and you can click on my Udemy course, which I call $0 to $10,000 a month online. The 10 steps that work for me. You can see thousands of students have already enrolled, and I've gotten mostly great reviews for the course. You can get a big discount using the coupon that's linked directly on the menu on the top of my website. And what's better, there's hundreds of free articles on my website showing deep detail. Most of them have videos matching that fully explain everything, and it's all for free on my website out in the open. And the best, very best things I have then are in my 2 Udemy courses, which you can get at a huge discount with the coupon. So thank you for taking a look at this, and here we go. The full, exact, hands-on, live, as I make and do this strategy, giving you everything you need to do it yourself. Do you want to see how to get traffic to your website like I do from Google organic search? I am grateful to be growing rapidly on Google organic search. You can see last year my website had 0 sessions, not even 1 Google search result. This year, 7,860. But here's the real magic. Look at this at the beginning and then watch where it is now. You can see I'm getting around 80 to 100 a day now. And that's just the beginning. You can see this is trending higher. There's no telling where it's going to level off or if it will. The question is, how the hell do you get started doing this? Where did I start? I started actively doing what I'm going to show you right in here. And that's when all the growth started. SEO and getting traffic in Google was one of the biggest frustrations I've had in my business. And I'm going to make it really easy for you to do exactly this. And if you want more details, I'm going to show you now even more. So out of that 7,800 that I've gotten over the last year compared to the 0 I got the year before, take a look at this. This is my last month of search traffic. That's nearly a third of what I've got the whole year in 1 month. Actually, it's over a third of all the search traffic I've got in the last year I've got in the last month. And here's why. What I'm getting is month to month growth. So this is a couple months ago, this is last month, and then look at this month. What I aim to do is keep the numbers in the green every single month. Because if I'm growing every month, that leads to fantastic results. Now, when you're getting started, this takes a while because Google wants to test out your content and wants to slowly put you up where you're supposed to be. Google doesn't want to risk throwing up things that might not be good for its users. But once you show Google you have great content, Google will keep throwing more and more people at your website. And you can see it's not even about the search terms. It's about the volume. You can see no single search term has more than around 5% of the total. And you can see some of the things like my name search results have been consistently accounting for around the same amount of traffic. But it's in all these details, all of these terms where I've got a bunch of clicks coming in. And I will show you the strategy that works for me to do this, because figuring out how to do this was really frustrating. But now I've got a system that's ridiculously simple for doing it using YouTube, WordPress, and video transcribers on Odesk. You can do this entire system totally for free, assuming you have a website. I recommend you get a WordPress website like mine with a custom URL and get it hosted. It gives you a very professional looking appearance that's trustworthy to the world for a low price. I mean, you can pay $10 for a domain on something like GoDaddy. You can pay around $10 a month on something like HostGator. And you can have a professional looking appearance for just over $10 a month. And if you set it up that way and then do the strategy I'm showing you, you can count on consistently growing. And I am thankful to have this kind of growth, because if I tried to pay to get these 2,000 clicks that I got for free in the last month, it would cost me between $1,000 to $5,000 to pay for those clicks. Not to mention I would have to spend a bunch of time in Google AdWords managing the ads, optimizing them to get my cost per click lower, and it would still cost $1,000 to $5,000. For having value on your website, organic search traffic is one of the biggest concrete things you have that shows value. If you ever want to sell a website or have a business sold or get valued, having that traffic is one of the most concrete things that gives you value. The power of organic search traffic is it's free and it's generally consistent. Look at my traffic over the last month. Almost every day around 80 to 100 results. Some days it's a little over, some days it dips down to maybe 72. But I'm consistently getting growing amounts of traffic to my website. Now, here's the simple answer for how I do it. I write content, I write posts on my website that Google loves, and I'll tell you much more about how to do that shortly. So I create content Google loves, and then I share it on Google+. There you go. I just do the little +1 button, and I share it. That way Google knows I did it. When I write a new post on my website, I just click on it, and I go +1 it. And there. Google knows it's up there. I don't have to comment or anything. I just share it. And that way Google knows the content should be indexed. Google knows the content is online. So that's how I tell Google where my content is. And here's the key. If you want to show up on search results, you need to have a good user experience. So what is a good user experience? Well, let's do a search together. So first, it generally takes figuring out what people want. So what happens, you search for something like my name, and then my website comes up along with all these other search results for me. And I'm happy. It looks like I've gotten all the search results are under my control for my name, which is beautiful. That's what you want. And then here's the first result up here. I click on that, then I go to my website. Here's what Google uses to determine where you should show in search results. It's the user behavior, what I just did. That's part 1. Part 2 is what I do next. So if I go back out right now and go to another search result, that's going to tell Google that I didn't like what I found on the last search result. What Google wants is to see a good user experience out of its search traffic. So Google ranks each link based on a good user experience. So all I do is create everything based on making a good Google user experience. I try and make everything so that the data Google has says that people love my website. It's that easy. And the tricks to it, of course, I will give you much more detail about, okay, so what does Google consider a good user experience? So I just gave you the basics. But for ranking high, the articles that are ranking high consistently have the same approach for me. And it's because of the Google user experience I just told you about. This is one of my most successful pages. What do you notice on this page? As soon as someone drops on this page, there's a huge video to watch right here. For Google user experience, the time someone spends on a page is a good indicator of the experience. If they search for something, so let me do another search. So let's say another of my successful pages is having my Facebook ad account banned. I have a good resource for this. And so you can see Google has shown me up here first, probably because it suspects I'll click on it after going to the last one. So you can see Facebook ad account banned. My website comes up. A good user experience according to Google is when someone searches and has a problem, clicks on it, and then stays on the page long enough to get whatever they needed. So staying on this page enough time to read through and figure out what's going on. Okay, so I've read this page. Obviously, I know what's on it. But for a good Google user experience, Google expects a click through and no click back. So they expect the user to go to the page and either interact with the page more or to just close out. Because Google then says, okay, that person got what they needed to when they searched for that term. Now let's take a look, try something else, like something like SEO tips. So you can imagine this is a giantly competitive term. Everyone wants to be on SEO tips because then theoretically there's opportunities to get more out of that. You can see all these paid ads are trying to force their way up into the search results, but most of the time people go straight for the organic. So let's say I go right here, quick SEO tips your mother would love. And these are some good tips on here. But okay, so I read through them like, whatever, alright, I already know how to do that. Now I go to search result 2, and I stay on here. And see, these SEO tips are saying the same thing I'm telling you, right? Great content, right? Unique content, add new content all the time. These are all things I'm going to tell you. Create a great keyword phrase. Choose a phrase that's popular but not too popular. These are good SEO tips. Now here's the thing though. If I back out and keep going to all these new articles, Google's like, okay, yuck. Google's like, okay, what do you want right here? And this page, you can see how fast I backed out of it because that one, yuck, I don't want that. Let's go to search engine watch this time. Now there's an ad. I think I'll back straight out of that too. And here, now I'll go to the Google one. Do you need an SEO? That's funny, Google. All right, I'll back out of that one too. Now, all right, let's say this one has all of the things I like, but it doesn't, so let's go to a different one. So here we go. So this article, this has some pretty good things on it. So now let's say you just saw how I searched. I backed out of all those other pages, and then I came down to this one, and I'm going to stay on here for a while. Now, what does that tell Google? That tells Google that I did not like the search results I got on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh result. But it tells Google I did like this one. Google knows that I do, or Google thinks I do like this search result because I didn't back out. Google assumes that I'm satisfied with what I found because I didn't back out and go back to that other search term. If you can understand that, you can understand exactly what I'm showing you for my search engine strategy. And I don't like to say SEO anymore because SEO to me is something that's done on a page, and I will show you exactly how to do that. But my understanding of SEO was more of gaming the system. But now I have an understanding of SEO as being applying good on-page principles and then giving Google everything in the actual content that tells Google it's a good user experience. So a good user experience is something that I just showed you. When people click through it and stay there and then close out the page and say, okay, Google, I found what I wanted to. I don't need to click and go back anymore. I don't need to go anywhere else. So one of the easiest ways to give a user a good experience and to tell Google that the user had a good experience is to start with a video in the top and then to have the exact whatever the search term was, to have it down here. So it's obvious that you can scroll down and read if you want to, or you can watch the video. People love videos. The reason people love videos is videos communicate so much more. There's a voice, there's a narrator, and especially if there's screen capture. I always try and do screen capture because there's so much more depth to screen capture. As a visual person, I'm in the habit of looking at things first. So a good Google user experience is easiest to get when you have a format like this. And everything is carefully done here. So I'm giving you an overview right now of what I did to get these kind of results and this kind of double-digit monthly growth. So this is an overview of how to do it. Step 1, URL matches the primary keyword. Well, I shouldn't say step because that's not, I'll show you actually creating it, but I'll show you from top to bottom. So top, short keyword, most closely matching keywords. Video right on the page so that people can watch, because if there's just writing on the page, people are not likely to stay long, as you saw on those SEO articles I just Googled. Even if there's just writing, people are not likely to spend much time on a page, and they're likely to back out even if the page was good. If there's a video on the page, people are likely to spend a lot more time on the page. Not just that, but then I'm getting minutes watched on my YouTube channel also, and that's really valuable. Even if people don't watch the video, it encourages interaction with the page because you can see they have to scroll down. You have to scroll down to get all of the writing. So it encourages immediate scrolling instead of just stopping and backing out. And then next, the content. You can see the content is set up here to give people a lot of useful things. I very carefully wrote this for the exact search term to solve a problem. So I wrote this page so that it's useful no matter how old it is, because I've dropped a direct search link in on Patreon so people can see the top creators by patrons using these direct links. And then I've got a little table down here to make it easier. So you can see I've put a lot of, this is a massive post. This is a couple thousand words. So that's the next big thing, is giving Google enough depth to really know what you're talking about. So those are the basics of how I did this strategy. Those are the basics of what I'm doing, and the key is I'm doing it all the time. Look at my website and see how often I'm doing this. If you look at the newest posts, that's 4 new posts this week. Last week, several more new posts. Some of them are buried down here and down here in the recent posts. But if you can see, you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. The oldest post is June 30th on this page. So that's within the last 6 months. And there are more than 50 posts on this page. That's why I'm getting this kind of growth, because I keep doing it. If you saw in those SEO tips, they say you create great content and then keep doing it. So I'm continuing to create great content consistently, and the more I do it, the more Google is starting to understand that the content I'm making is consistently good, and it gives my brand new things I make a higher ranking in search. And the beauty is, it doesn't matter that my site has a low page rank. All Google cares about is how often people click on it. When I get click-throughs of 70-80%, Google will put me at the very first position nearly all of the time. But the best part is it tells Google my website overall is good, and it starts some of my new things off a little bit higher than they would be otherwise. So thank you for following along, and I'm going to go into much more depth about how to actually do this, and I'm going to show you actually doing all of it. In the last part, I showed you what I was doing to get traffic on Google, and I showed you how consistently I'm growing bigger and bigger day by day. What I try and do is always stay in the green. I always try and stay in the green. The green is growth, and that's what I want, is growth. I want to get a little bit bigger every single month. That's my goal, because if I grow like this, double-digit growth in impression and clicks, then I know the graph's going to keep going higher and higher. And that free traffic is where I have opportunities to do everything else. Almost everything good that's happened to me in my business in the last year has been from organic search traffic. When I was just starting out and I had the 0 search traffic, and I was using a company website that did awful in organic search, everything was direct marketing. It was all direct marketing. And that's frustrating, because as soon as you stop direct marketing, the clients stop coming in. Organic search is incredible. Almost every good thing that happens to me now is organic search. And the best part is it's free. But the hardest part with it, it takes patience. I started actively putting things on my website around May right here. And you can see it's taken a while to get going. But now that it is going, I know all I have to do is keep doing this. All I have to do is keep writing all of these posts. People come to my website and they say, I'm overwhelmed. How can you write this much? Well, there's a big, huge trick to it. And it's very simple. This has been the miracle discovery of the year for me. And I'm giving it to you right now. Here it is. I can write 2,000 words an hour. I can talk 10,000 words an hour. So when I make a video, I can talk 10,000 words in an hour. So when you see a post like this, it's a small fraction of the whole video. And here's what I do. Let me show you my recent posts. I wrote 4 posts on making money on the internet, all based on exact keywords that I see people are looking for. If you notice, the same video is at the top of every one of these. That's because in this 1-hour video, I said 9,000 words. I hired several people on Odesk to transcribe my videos. Now, all I have to do is copy and paste the transcription of the video. Here's a perfect example. This was one of my shorter videos. All I had to do, put the video up there. Let me take you over to the video watch page. You can see the video is 11 minutes long, and the entire post is transcribed here. So I don't have any intention of the user actually reading the post most of the time. What I've done is just transcribe the text of the video. So Google has everything they need to show this in search results. Google can see from this exactly what I'm talking about. But the user, in the last part I showed you a lot about what happens when people search. When the user comes here, the user is more likely to want to take a look at this video and watch and see exactly what I'm talking about in the video, because the video has a lot more depth. I say all of these words in the video, but the video shows so much more. So I'm doing twofold here. I'm giving Google all of the data Google needs to rank this correctly in search results. I've told Google what this page is about, but then for the user, I've made a video that gives the user a good experience. So I'm working with the intent behind Google. Google wants a good user experience. The video is set up to make a good user experience. And then I'm working with the practical limitations of the technology. Google can only index text. So right now, at least. Their voice technology is getting better. But Google can only analyze text right now. So if you want to show up in search results, text is critical. If you don't have text, then you can't show up very well in search results because Google needs to know what all is on the page. So for example, I have words like Photoshop in here that are not, they're not actually in the video, but if someone searches Canva versus Photoshop, I can come up in those search results because I've talked about Photoshop in here. I've talked about LinkedIn in here. I've talked about design experience. I've talked about a lot of things related to what this video is for. If you just post a video, Google doesn't know all of the text that's included in that video, even if you have a good description on the video. So this is my strategy. This works so well. And I'll take you around my website. You can see consistency. The one thing I do very consistently is I post videos at the top of pages. Now here's another perfect example, and this is one of my transcribers, Joshua, that does an exceptional job with his transcriptions. He makes it into a great blog post by taking screenshots out of the video. So that's an even better way to do it. But see, some of these, like launching your Facebook, the idea is to show up on the exact long-term search result. I want an evergreen article that's up here all the time. So you can see on some of these, I have put the same or similar video up. But what I have then is unique text. I have unique text on all of the actual articles with it. So what I'm telling Google is I'm writing a ton of unique things on my website. And then I'm telling the user, hey, I've got this awesome video you should watch. You should stay on this page and not back out and go to another website. So this is what is working exceptionally well. It's both giving the user a good experience and giving Google the data it needs to correctly index. Like this page, I'm showing up on this already. Passive income playing League of Legends on YouTube. And this is part of my YouTube channel strategies. So you can see I've built a bunch of these. So what I'm planning on is taking those exact searches, but what I'm also doing is hedging my bets. Because if you look at this traffic, I have, let's look by pages. I have 1 or 2 pages here that are accounting for a huge portion of my total clicks. This one page accounts for half my clicks. Half of my clicks, this one page. This other page, which used to be a few months back one of my main pages, this page still accounts for around 20% of my total traffic. If you'll notice, my home page comes in third here, and it accounts for only around 8% of my total clicks. And if you want to get a lot of search traffic, you have to think outside of the home page. You have to think of having a lot of these kind of big pages on your website. When I was trying to do search results before, all I did was agonize over my home page. As you can see, I get nearly, what is that, 60% of my traffic, 70% of my traffic I get from 2 pages that are not my homepage. These pages solve problems people have. On Patreon, it's frustrating to try and find the top Patreon creators. I created a page that shows the top Patreon creators in great detail. On Facebook, it's frustrating getting your account disabled. I created a page to show what to do about it. These other pages are the strategy I've shown on my website here. And some of these have came up very quickly. Like this one, how to get past the 2,000 follower limit, has came up very quickly. I've never seen my pages come up and get clicks so fast, so consistently. And that's what's exciting, is it's not just one page, it's a bunch of pages. And I'll tell you, it took a while to get this page up there. That top Patreon creators page is right here. Now look at the date on this thing. August 23rd. It's just now blossoming in search results really well 3 months later. It took 3 months for this page. You can see on some of these other pages it was coming up, but the average position on it was 5.2 right there. And then this month it moves up to 2.6. And then on this last month, now it's up to 1.7. And some of these other terms are up to number 1. So it takes a while, but the beauty of this strategy is doing it consistently and bringing all of these pages into the mix. Bringing all these different pages. This page I put up very recently. I just put this rank a video on YouTube up, I think, last month. Where is that one? That might be so recent I don't even see it. The idea is the faster you can put things up, it's incredible how much more action. Oh yeah, this is incredible. Look at this. October 20th. I just put this up and it's already coming in. It's already moving up quickly. So that's really exciting. You can see once you get this strategy going, you then get positive reinforcement from Google. Google will then take your content more seriously. When you're doing good ranking and getting a good user experience, Google will then imagine your next article might be better. Wikipedia is a prime example of this. Google is pretty sure the content on Wikipedia is really good most of the time. I would bet you a Wikipedia article doesn't come up ranking at the very bottom hardly ever. It starts way higher. So the key is to ranking high is to start higher. If you start so low that no one can find your article at all, then you're just screwed, because you're never going to get up high enough to get found unless people find you on that 10th page and click on you. But the more you are able to figure out what people want, make an article written exactly towards that, and then get a good user experience, Google will try your new articles in a higher position. That's why some of these websites like Forbes and that have a lot of articles on them, when you actually click through and read an article, the user experience is often terrible, as I just showed you before. There's a pop-up ad, annoying, followed by ads all over the page, followed by an often very short article. But Forbes has a lot of good articles on their website, so Google gives them the benefit of the doubt on a lot of their articles that aren't even as good, and then they usually have to sink instead of rise. But if you have a website that's newer, you have to rise. And you can do that, like I'm showing you, by creating articles that are very specifically aimed at search results. So I'm aiming at a very specific search result. Here's a recent example of what I did. So this 10 steps to get your business to $10,000 monthly. This has been doing good in search results. You can see it showing up on things related to $10,000 a month. This wasn't something I set out to do on purpose. I just wrote it, and especially when you're getting started, it's hard to aim at keywords. It's hard to aim at keywords when you don't know what keywords you should aim at. And the bigger a keyword is, the harder it is to aim at because other people are aiming at it too. But now that I've seen people are searching for things related to $10,000 a month, look what I've done. So I intentionally went and wrote a post called Make $10,000 a Month Online Free. And it has a video sharing the exact same information as in this post. Note that this was one of my older posts that didn't have a video matched with it, but that I can put a video on. But this new post has a video on it immediately to get people to watch it, and I'm intentionally going after these search terms. Now that I know people are searching for things like make $10,000 a month, I'm intentionally going after those search terms. And there's a lot more lucrative terms out there I don't even know about, such as specific affiliate programs that I can do this with too. But what I'm doing now is I'm just consistently creating things on what I like to do, and then I'm doing positive reinforcement on it. So when I see this article, my #1 article was not the first article I wrote on Patreon. One of these, I think it was this one, was my first article. Once I saw this article was showing up good, then I wrote this one. Once I found that one was showing up good, and I started trying to figure out what people were searching for, then I realized, oh, people want to know about the top Patreon creators. Then I wrote that one. So my whole system, everything I'm showing you is a positive reinforcement loop. It's the 80-20 principle. I'm trying to find those 20% of articles that get the most search results. But you can see this is a 80-20 principle taken down a level, because this one article is accounting for 50% of my clicks. And this one article has more than double the next article, which has almost 3 times the next one, which has almost 3 times the one below it. But I didn't get straight to this one. I did not get straight to this one. I made one of these first. So you can see all these new articles I'm doing. All these new articles I'm doing, I'm trying to reach farther up into here by figuring out in here what's working. So I already made one YouTube marketing strategy post, and now I'm figuring out more exactly what people want. Well, the search result in here says YouTube marketing plan instead of strategy. But you can see I'm consistently using these pages here to try and find more of these pages here. Because in the previous months, if it'll show my data, you can see this page was on the way up then, but it still wasn't up to the level of this one. You can see I had a lot smaller pages in here. I didn't have as many of these huge pages. But now, these bigger pages, I've got a lot more of those. So I'm going to now show you exactly how I make one of these posts really quickly. You've seen now how I've gotten exceptional growth in just the last few months in Google organic search. You've seen the green numbers in my webmaster tools showing that my clicks are consistently going up. Now, the question is, how do I actually create these posts in WordPress and YouTube, and what can you do to repeat the same process? I'm going to show you exactly what I do to do this live as I do it. So the challenging part with that is I'm doing this actually for myself, which will go live on my website. in all the detail. The advantage of that is there's no theoreticals. There's no this might or might not. This is what I'm actually doing for myself and how you can easily repeat it. If you have something as simple as a WordPress website, a YouTube channel, a screen capture program such as Snagit, and then some hosting on your own URL, which you can get from HostGator for $10 a month or something even lower than that, or higher if you want faster speed. The beauty of this is how easy it is to do. And you might want to scale it up using transcription people on Odesk, which I'm doing. But I'm going to show you the whole thing from start to finish. So first, starting off depends on where you're at. So let's take a look at this again. If you're down here, starting off is going to work a little different than when you're right here. So when I was right here, let's show you some of the articles I did. This is an example, 10 steps to get your business to $10,000 a month. And this is part of my Udemy course, which is $0 to $10,000 a month online. But this is the type of article I wrote. So I just wrote it, and I didn't know exactly who would find it. So I showed you in the past step how I figured out who I'm finding. So if you're starting out, you're stuck kind of just doing things like writing whatever article you might want to. Like here's an article I wrote. I just wrote about books I read that have helped me. So I didn't know exactly what kind of search results that would inspire. So if you don't know what keywords people are looking for, then that's where you start. You start off making a YouTube video about something you want to make. If you do know what keywords people are searching for, and I do have a pretty good idea, here's where you start. So I'm in Webmaster Tools, and I want to download this table. I want to download this table to see what keywords my website is already ranking for. I want to know what I'm already doing right so I can do more of it. And what I want to do now is find what I'm doing right when it comes to SEO. Let's check out what I'm doing right. Ooh, black hat SEO techniques. I don't know about that. SEO plain. Now that's one of the old articles I had on there. Here, now that's a good one. Important SEO terms. So what I do now is I have a file, then I take these terms like this and I put them in a file called validated keywords. I know people are actually looking for these things, and so I don't want to do anything like that. So SEO might not be right, so now I try another keyword. That didn't work, so now let me try traffic. Alright, increase site traffic. I know I'm showing up for that. Let's see, so that's the only one. Let's try website. So this is where I'm doing my keyword research. I'm seeing what search results I'm actually already showing for so that I can intentionally aim an entire article at that. Best website to buy YouTube views. So what I'm doing now is trying to find the right keyword to match what I'm doing. And if you're starting out in a new area, it's challenging because you may not have any good keyword data on it. So I'm in a challenging spot for this particular, because I already made this video. So if you don't have keywords to research, you can just do it like this. So I don't seem to have much existing data on what keyword I want to use. So now I can just go up here and start and scroll down and try and find some articles that relate to what I might want to put up there. So I'm seeing ranking videos on Google. What I want to do is find some things I'm already showing on, especially that I'm already getting some clicks on, and then intentionally aim an article directly at that. but I have to have something to start with. So I'm scrolling through these keywords, and I'm just trying to find one that has maybe a click, and I don't see any. Because I haven't written about this too much already. So since I don't, I might have to just freestyle it. But I will keep looking and see if I can find a search term where I'm actually showing already. And it looks like all I have is rank YouTube videos. Let me try Google. Ah, here's a nice one. How to rank in Google in 2014. That's a sweet one right there. That from my previous keywords, that I know that these year-based keywords can be good. So that's a sweet one. So sometimes it just takes a minute to search through and figure it out. Google Sites tutorial, probably not that. How to rank on Google, and that's how to rank in Google. Well, this is how to rank on Google. That's interesting. It's a slightly different wording, but it might be worth it to try a couple of different tutorials or a couple of different articles. I ranked on the keyword Google. All right. Google AdWords sucks. How to rank for Google Hummingbird. That's a really cool keyword. See, when you can aim at an exact keyword like that, that's really cool. Rank high in Google. All right, that's another good keyword. And what I will do is I'll show you, I will do an actual article with that exact keyword title. So this takes a while, as you can see, but the rewards are well worth it. Some of these keywords you've seen, I found these keywords before. I went and did a specific article about it, like the how to rank YouTube videos, and then that worked really well, so I did another article on it. So it takes repetition. It takes doing this a lot, but you keep doing this like I've kept doing it. It's working really good. So I've went through all these already. So I've got several new ideas over here on my pad. Now the only thing I need to do is figure out which one of these matches what I have. So what I have is a 7,800 word post transcribed from a 1 hour, 15-minute video. That goes back to what I said about the strategy. It works because I can talk a hell of a lot faster than I can write. So having success online and in life often is not about miracles or magic. I mean, I believe miracles come from your understanding of a higher power, and I believe that is a huge part of life. But as it comes to practical things, I believe it's mostly a function of time, effort, systems, and learning. In other words, you can use these things I'm showing you to get the same results if you can build it for yourself. So if I can talk 7,000 words an hour, that's more than 3 times as fast as I can write. It makes sense for me to talk first and have someone transcribe it, because that's how I get the most content out. So that's what I have here, is a transcription. And what I want to do with this transcription is figure out where I can break it up into the first post. I want to chop it into 3 unique posts right here. So I'm going to do new post and new post. So I've got 3 new posts in WordPress. And what I want to do is chop this up into 3 different posts that have keyword titles matching the research I just showed you. If even one of those works well, if just one of those works well, then I'm in business. I'm in real good shape to have a exciting amount of search traffic continuing to grow. As you saw, you don't have to do a whole bunch of exceptional things. You just need a couple of keywords and a very small amount of pages to perform really well on your website. So I'm trying to repeat that, and I'm trying to figure out in here how I can divide and conquer up. So it looks like I might have a logical split right here at 2,500 words. Because if I'm going into saying, let's show you how this works right here, then it might make sense to split it right there. Or it might make sense to split it right here, based on what I was writing about in there. So it's tricky sometimes to match this with what I'm writing, because the most important part of the post is at the top. So I want to find a split point where I can get a good post in here. And eventually I may be able to have my transcribers include all of this in their work. But for now, it just makes sense to do it this way. But in the future, I will be able to have it divided up more so that I don't have to do this step on it. But if you're just getting started with this, you might end up doing this all yourself. Or you might just kind of get a transcriber to do the whole video. So either way, this is something you'll likely need to know about doing this. So what I've done is now I've dropped this first part in here. So this first thing, I might have to go off the keyword farm a little bit and say WordPress posting strategy for maximum SEO results, because that looks like a good title based on here, and I bet that's something someone else is looking for. So WordPress posting for maximum SEO results. So that's something I want to give a try here. WordPress posting strategy for maximum SEO results. And now I delete that. And try here. What WordPress posting strategy do I use to get incredible growth in Google organic search? And then I start by asking this question, and then I say, watch the video above to see my WordPress posting strategy executed live. There. So I say watch the video above to see and I can preview it too. Let's see what this looks like. So I can see I've got WordPress posting strategy, and I might have it too much. So I might just say, whoa, I don't want to do that. Change this back into paragraph, delete, there we go. In the video above. Now, that's the beauty of this. Now I just put it up here. And now this transcription serves as the content Google has. So I don't even need to do anything else. I don't know if someone's actually going to read this, but I've got it all up right there. And now I start doing the details of the post. And I will want to, I'll try saving a draft of this to make sure I don't lose my work. And there, now it makes the post link. So I want to make my post link 75 characters or less. So I go back here, and this is and I want to see how long is this URL I've got. I don't want this URL to be too long because then Google won't like it. And it's all about making Google happy. So it's exactly 75 characters. So I'm going to delete the 4 out of here. There. So now what I do is I just finish up this WordPress post. I click video, and I go down here and click Google for the category. I scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I have the Enfold theme. I really like the Enfold theme. I found it, Rymar showed me the Enfold theme. I've been using it ever since. It works really good on my website, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback about it. So here's what I do next. So now I have the video in here, and I'll put the focus keyword up in here. I want to do WordPress posting strategy. And I'll even throw 2014 in the title here and see if it fits. Scarface, see if it fits. And then I start off, I write this meta description as if it's an ad. I'm writing this meta description because I want people to click on it. When you see these kind of things on here, like I'm getting an average position of 1.0 and a click-through of 70-80%, I've written the meta description just like an ad. I want people to click on it. And I want my keyword to match exactly. So I'm going to verbatim paste somewhere in here my exact keyword, which in this instance will be here, and make sure I include there. So see the Now, I used as many characters as I could, and I've written this just like an ad. See the WordPress posting strategy that gets me Google organic traffic growth every month in 2014 in this free maximum SEO results video tutorial. I've given the key details of why someone would want to read this. I'm saving draft on this. Now, the last thing I need to do is create a quick image for this to be featured on my website. And I will continue with that and then show you how I do this faster on the next 2 posts shortly. So I've shown you how to make a post. Now, one of the last parts is putting an image on it. So I've actually got an image for this one already created, but I'll show you how I make one later. So what I now want to do is make the image match the alt tags that the post has. So I'm going to close this out. I'll grab these. I'll go set featured image, grab this one, paste in here, set featured image. Now this is important for social media sharing, especially because it comes up like this on Facebook or on Google Plus or something. So you need to have a featured image on your post. And I'll show you, it comes up on my website too. Now the key is I have the SEO green. So to me, this is what SEO is doing all of this stuff on the page. So I hit publish. Now let's show you what this looks like on my website. So I go view post. Now here I've got the video with the same image. I've got WordPress posting strategy, the title right here, and then I ask a question. And then I have the transcription from the first third of the video right here. So now I go back to my website and I'll show you in my recent post. This comes up in newest then. So you can see I did 4 of these a couple days ago. So now I have this new one. And this is a over 2,000 word post, so Google has a lot of content. Now all I have to do to share this, I go out here and I grab something. I grab a little bit I can copy and paste on it. So I grab this, I hit +1, I drop a comment straight in here above. I put the simple title right here. I don't have a huge following on Google Plus, but I've got a few hundred. But the only thing I care about is sharing this on Google Plus so that it gets indexed by Google right away. And now I can also quickly share this on Twitter. I just delete this because it's on my own Twitter account. I don't need to put @. And then I share it on LinkedIn real quick. And on the LinkedIn, I do the same thing. I paste this in here on this page, share it on LinkedIn, and then I can do the same thing on Facebook. But what I'll do on Facebook instead is post it straight to my page. So I've got a giant Facebook page here. And so I go put the text in. I put the text in here, copy the link, paste. Now this is mostly on Facebook. It doesn't matter as much for getting search traffic or anything, but it does help Google to know. Google can see how many Facebook likes a page has. At least Alexa can see it, so I'd figure Google could see it too. So here I hit post right here, and so now the page is live on Facebook, it's live on Google, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So that I've covered the basics. So now Google knows where this post is. Google can go ahead and index it, and I've got a good user experience set up. When a user comes here and searches, they're likely to click on this video and take a look at it. Even if they skip around, even if they only spend a minute watching it, it's still likely to give Google a good user experience, and that's what they care about, is the user experience. So that's step 1. That's the first step on getting one of these posts done, and that's from start to finish. And I guess I'd say the second step is doing post 2 and then the next post, but that's all the basics then. I've got this up, it's on my website, and now all I need to do is repeat it a few times. So I'm going to go through and repeat it again. And the difference is this time I'm going to go in the middle of the document, starting here. It's important to make sure where you start from. So I start here, and I go down, and what I want to do is stop at about the right point in the document. So I've got a few thousand more words here. And because it's 7,800 and the last one's 2,200, I probably want to get to about 5,000. So I want to see where's a good stopping point here. And what I want to do is find something, a good point to stop. So this is 2,600, last one's 2,200. So I can scroll down a bit more. Let's see, 2,800. How's this? There, that should be good. Then maybe even go down to 3,000. There, 3,300. That's on a little bit of a long end, but that should leave around a couple thousand words left for the rest of the website. So that's what I want. So now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to drop it over on this first one. Let me just pull my Facebook page out of here and pull some of these other things out of here so that these aren't distracting me. So I've got this, and now what I want is to go copy the rest of it. Since I'm in the middle, I don't want to lose my place twice. I'm going to go copy the rest of this and do both of these posts kind of in tandem. So now this is another 2,200 word post. I go drop this over here. So there. Now you can see from the beginning I might want to figure out exactly what the hook is. So what keyword titles should match with what I've written about. Because I've picked keyword titles that are all, in my research, I picked all keyword titles that are about what I've written about. So it doesn't matter as much the actual unique words on the page, because I want to hit the title and match that to the words. But it does matter a lot to what the words start out as, because if someone does pick up reading there, I want them to be able to not be totally lost. And you'll see how I'll do it in the beginning. I'll throw a link to this back to this first post if someone wants to read start to finish. I'd rather have them read 2,000 to 3,000 word posts by keyword than to have one 7,800 word post on my website. Because for Google search, Google seems to like the 2,000 to 3,000 word articles. The 6,000 and longer word articles, it seems to be a bit convoluted with keywords. I haven't got as good of search results on those. So the sweet spot, the average #1 article seems to be 2,000 to 3,000 words, or even a little longer to like 4,000. I don't know where I saw that from, but I put that in my research, and man, that is spot on. So let's look at some of the keywords I have. And what I need to do is a quick little research. What is Google Hummingbird? Because I need to figure out how Google Hummingbird relates to what I'm talking about. Alright, so this talks about Google Hummingbird. What is Google Hummingbird? Alright, so Google Hummingbird, it seems to be more for these exact search results like I'm talking about. And so if you've noticed, this user experience Search Engine Land gave is pretty good. So now I'm just going to close this, and that tells Google I found what I wanted. So I'm making these articles to repeat the same results. So how to rank for Google with Hummingbird might be a good specific keyword, and maybe even include a couple of other Google updates. So let's see what other Google updates 2014. Let's see if there's other Google updates I could put on here that can help me. So Penguin 3.0, that might be a good one. And Panda 4.1. Though the problem with using those is things like that is they're less evergreen. So if my article says how to rank in Google Panda 3.0 and Penguin, then Panda 4.0 comes out, someone knows my article's out of date immediately. So I try to avoid that. But what I can do is lump all these together. And so even if it's just in the title, what I can do is how to rank in Google 2014. And then I can take some of these it might be too long of a title. So I might have to split this into two. So how to rank in Google 2014, then how to rank in Google, and then I might be able to do it that way. So how to rank in Google penguin, panda, and hummingbird I have copied over here. The thing is, you only get so many titles though, and so there's one related to the year. So that's short enough to go in for the year. Let me see if I can put pluses in these. There, now that works. Alright, so that's a very specific keyword I've got. So I'm looking for people who are frustrated with just trying to rank in Google regular, and then put that. And now, and this one I can expand my term out to how to rank in Google in 2014 and 2015. So then my article has a bit longer value to it. And then I like to put things like what works for me. So that way people know I'm already doing this right. I'm already doing this right. So I want them to click on my article. So there, I've got a nice juicy post, how to rank in Google in 2000, what works for me. And now this one, how to rank in Google penguin, panda, and hummingbird. So these are two unique titles. Even though the content is largely the same, I'm aiming at two different specific keywords. And that's the magic of what you want to do. You want to rank, you want to aim carefully at the exact keywords you want to take. So these are the keywords I'm trying to take. These are my keywords that I want. So I'm aiming at them. I want people searching for exact things like this. I want these exact searches. And then what I can do is I put this content strategy up here so that when people search, they see what I'm doing. They see my strategy that I'm making on my website that already works for me. So that's what I want them to see, is this video. And now what I need to do is introduce the title. So I have to start off by introducing the title. So I put the title up big. Now, this is where I go back and link to part 1. So you can see what I've done. It's the 80-20 rule applied to articles like this. The most important part of the article is the very beginning. Since I already have a video up there, which I'm now going to put in here. Since I already have a video up here, what I need to do is sell them on why they should read this or why they should stay on this page. So I've tried to do that. And I'm going to save this as a draft so I don't just lose it. And so I get my keywords out here. And now all I need to do is keep the Google here, and I will delete that. So then the URL is shorter, because what works for me is making a clickable URL. Same as down here. And so what I want to have a clickable URL, but the only thing I really care about is the first keyword in here. So that's all I've kept in the URL. And having an exact match is the easiest way to go. And now I paste this in here, see how to rank in Google, and based on what is already working for me. Alright, so now again, I've written this with a sales-based approach. Now I need to trim a couple of the keywords. Take out what is working for me. So now I've used up this meta description space. There we go. So what I do is I've got that down. Now for this, it might be easier to just do a screenshot for the actual post title. So the last thing I need is an image for this. So I need an image. I've got everything else but an image on this page. So now I just want to show my traffic. Let me zoom in on my traffic. And just zoom in here. And then I just need, so I'm going to zoom in on this and just print screen it. And that's all I have to do then, is drop that into the post title. So I'm not actually going to show that, since I can't print screen while I'm making a video due to my button setup. I could work around it, but I'm just going to show you that. And then I will publish this post on my website, and I will publish the next post on my website, and I will share them the same as I did on this one on social media. So then, instead of having one new 2,000 in word post today from this one hour video I did, then I have 3 2,000 plus word posts on my website, all aiming at specific keywords. And then all I have to do is be right and actually rank in one of them. And all I have to do is have one of the pages jump into these top pages, and I'm in great shape. I'm getting more clicks than every month. And you can see some of these have worked really well. The LinkedIn profile optimization is from a video. This 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 is from a video. I think this one's from a video. That's 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 from a video. And that's a brand new one. That is a brand new one right there. So you can see these pages I'm making are working really well. And some of them are very similar search terms So what I'm doing here I don't have to worry too much about competing with myself. Look at these 4 I just did. One of these is already ranking up higher. And that's awesome. And all I have to do is just keep doing this then. I just keep doing this over and over and over again. Oh, here's the one that ranked higher. That's not from a video. Okay, so that is not from a video. But these, most of them are from videos that are ranking higher, and a lot of them are brand new. So you can see I don't have to worry about competing too much, because all I have to do is have the exact right keyword set up in one of these new posts, and I will be pulling in lots more new search traffic here. So I appreciate you learning about this with me. I hope this has been really helpful and inspirational for you. I hope you can see by what I've done. I know how frustrated I was with SEO and getting traffic to my website. It's one of the things that's taken me the longest to learn and get right out of everything I've done. And I hope by showing you the best of what's working for me, that you can use it to work for you and make it easier for you to learn than it was for me. If you want more, which I hope you want more, my website is loaded. It's just loaded with this strategy, and it's got so much. It has hundreds of deep posts on it. And even if you just want to watch a video, you can see by the topic what the video is about, even if there are 4 on the same topic. But on the popular, almost all of these popular ones are totally unique with videos and everything. So there's so much awesome content on here, and I think you're going to love it. So thank you very much for learning about this with me. I hope it's been helpful.